Shalom, shalom, man. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Peace be unto you this Sabbath day. Right? As we bring in the Sabbath day, we got another lesson on Friday. We call them Freestyle Fridays. Freestyle Friday. You see the lesson title, it says The Net of Religion. Right? The Net of Religion. Right? We're going to go over the net of religion. Got a video, some precepts, and we'll call it wraps for the night. Lord willing, you're edified. Lord willing, this will give you something to think about for the Sabbath day. And Lord willing, this will open your eyes in discernment, so you can have discernment and how to discern certain things and how to make certain decisions when it comes to leading and following, right? When it comes to leading and following. I want to say shalom to the 12 tribes and the commandment keepers, right? And the hopeful elect. We not just the hopeful elect, right? We know that everybody that's going to be in the kingdom, that's the hopeful elect. We're hoping to be that elect number, making our calling and our election sure. We're hoping the Most High God calls on us to be in that elect number, right? So shalom to all the hopeful elect. And shalom to the cleavers out there, those that want to cleave on to the nation, right? We say shalom and peace be unto you guys as well. Happy Feast of Dedication. We are in the midst of our Feast of Dedication week. The mainstream world knows it as Hanukkah, right? That's what the mainstream world knows it as. So, happy Feast of Dedication. So I want to go ahead and give all glory and honor and praise to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who sent his son as an instrument of salvation for the nation. And that nation is Israel, right? Which we all know that to be true. And before we get started, I'm going to share my screen and we'll play the blowing of the shofar, right? If you ever needed a blowing of the shofar, a quick little blowing of the shofar, we got a 30-second video on our channel page, the hopeful elect at Cherry Street Saints, right? Go ahead, like, share, comment, subscribe, right? Let's get into this. Come, man, the mighty blowing of the shofar. Let me change this layout. I kind of like this layout a little better, man. And the mighty blowing of the shofar. Like, yeah. Let me change this layout. I kind of like this. What's going on, man? All right. We got a video, man. The brother Obadiah provided the video for today. The brother gave me some help, man. He gave me some help on the video last minute. Couldn't find nothing with limited cursing. This has one curse word in it, but it conveys the lesson for tonight, right? It conveys the lesson for tonight. So we're going to play this once, maybe twice, and then we'll get into the lesson.
All I know is I don't want to be doing this shit no more.
Then don't.
The food is killing us. It's killed Lauren. Like, how many more of us need to go?
Fair use. By the way, food that they're talking about drugs. Guessing in the UK, that's how they disguise it, or that's how they talk about it, right? But food, they're talking about drugs. So she says she wants out the drug game. And he's saying, then leave. If you don't sell it, then don't do it. Right?
Lauren killed herself. Don't blame me.
I'll bring you your food back.
Oh, yeah, you will.
He pretty much was like, hey, you ain't stopping nothing on this side. The show don't stop because you quitting. This train gonna keep going regardless, right? This train gonna keep going regardless. I didn't get into business to save lives. I got into business to make money. Right? I got in this business to make money. So I'm gonna play it one more time.
I don't want to be doing this shit no more.
Then don't.
The food is killing us. It's killed Lauren. Like, how many more of us need to go?
Lauren killed herself. I'm believing.
They put the blame on the people that buy the food or the drugs.
I'll bring you your food back.
Oh yeah, you will.
Right. So in this lesson, we're going to talk about the net of religion. What do I mean by the net of religion? Right. In Habakkuk chapter 1, it talks about an angler. I know a lot of people may not know what an angler is. Obadiah, do you know what an angler is?
No, I don't, King. I ain't never heard of that. An angler?
Right. We'll go and get the definition real quick. We'll get the definition. Because it's going to talk about angle, right? When it talks about angle, right? Let's see what it is. What is an angler? Right? Can you see that?
Yep, Khan.
What does it say?
A person who fishes with a rod and line.
Right. The rod and the line is called an angle. Right? The rod and the line is called an angle. I don't know if it's because they make an angle with it, but it looks like, I don't know, but they call it an angle. And the person that fishes with it is an angler. Right? Let me see if there's more on that. The meaning of angler is a person who catches fish with a hook and a fishing line, right? So angle and tackle, right, would be your fishing rod and your fishing pole. Now, this lesson, right, is to go over how people sell lies to you. This lesson is to go over how people trap you knowing that they're selling lies to you, knowing that they hurt you. And in turn, they will blame you for following and believing it. In turn, and that's what Satan does. Satan will put the temptation out in front of you. And when you take the bait, you are the only one to blame. You can't blame Satan for doing his job, right? Go ahead, Obadiah.
Khan, man, right? When you said that, that made me think about something. Just like when they, like he was saying, when it comes to, and I had read something on this, when it comes to like these elites and these people that do witchcraft, they have to let you know that something is wrong. Like they can't lead you into doing something blindly. They have to leave you like with a choice. So when you look at them cigarette packets, or when you get a can of dip and it says caution, this can cause lung cancer, or this can cause, you know what I'm saying? When you read those back of those packets, it tells you what this can do to you, and people still buy them. And then when they get those things, when they teeth start falling out and their gums get swollen, they want to blame the people that sold it to them. But in reality, they told you what this was going to happen. They told you this was going to happen to you if you did it, and you did it anyway. So it'd be your fault.
Right. A lot of people choose not to look at the fine print, right? And the fine print is so that the person selling it, right, they can get that liability off of them, right? They can get that chance of going to court and getting no longer their fault, right? It's on the person, it's on the user, it's on the believer, it's on the follower, it's on that person, right? It's not on that person that led them into that trap. Because like the brother Obadiah said, you got a choice to make. You don't have to do anything, right? Nobody's forcing you to do anything, whether it's an addiction or not, right? It's still a choice that you made. So you have to be careful of who you allow to sell you things. And when I say sell you things, I don't just mean material. I mean a belief system. I mean, you got to be careful of people that will teach you lies, right? So let's get into this lesson. Did you have something to say, Denal? Con, let's get into this lesson. We'll read from left to right. Habakkuk 1, starting at verse 15.
Con, this is Habakkuk 1, starting at verse 15. They take up all of them with the angle. They catch them in their net and gather them in their drag. Therefore, they rejoice and are glad.
Right. They take up all of them with their angle. So this is kind of a parable. It's kind of a metaphor, a simile, right? I'm going to go back to verse 14. Right? Salakia. Upon them that deal treacherously, like tongue, rather than man that is. Con, let's start at verse 13, Salakia. Right? Let's start at verse 13. This lesson is very much needed. It's going to be a slower style lesson. So, get your coffee, get your caffeine, get your gum in your mouth, so that you can pay attention. But this lesson is very much needed in the nation today, right? And when I say nation, I'm not one of those people that just believes the community is the nation. I believe the nation is the nation, right? We're being targeted from all different areas, right? And inside the truth and outside the truth, right? So this is for the nation, right? Can we please start at verse 13?
Verse 13, thou art of purer eyes than to behold evil, and canst not look on iniquity.
Right, talking about the Most High God, he can't look at iniquity. It sickens him to his stomach. Keep going.
Wherefore, lookest thou upon them that deal treacherously, and holdest thy tongue when the wicked devoureth the man that is more righteous than he.
Right, so he's asking him a question. I know that you hate iniquity, so tell me this. Do you know what these people are doing? Do you know? Are you just holding your tongue and not saying anything when you see that these people are devouring your people with lies? They're seducing your people. They're deceiving your people. Are you just turning a blind eye to that? Right? Verse 14.
Verse 14, and maketh men as the fishes of the sea.
Salakia. So he's going to keep going on to describe what's going on with these wicked people, right? He's describing these men and women that are on the earth, right, through a parable, right, and through a metaphor. So could you read that from the top again?
Verse 14, and maketh men as the fishes of the sea, as the creeping things that have no ruler over them.
Right, because fish, nobody really thinks about it. Fish don't really have a hierarchy, right? They kind of just in the water. They don't really have no king or a ruler over them. They do what they want in that water, and they kind of all defending themselves in the water. They might, swim in a school, but there's no teacher in that school of fish, right? So they're kind of like a herd of animals, right? Except for a herd of animals have a shepherd. Fish don't even have a shepherd. So he says, these wicked people make men as the fishes of the sea. They make men as the fishes of the sea. So he's comparing the fish of the sea to the nation, right? As the creeping things that have no ruler over them. Because right now, we don't have a ruler over our people, right? And even at this time, there was no ruler over our people, right? And so when there's no ruler, right, it's chaos. There's no order. There's no structure. There's no leadership, right? And so you're liable to believe anything because you're just grabbing at anything that makes sense. As a fish in the sea, you're just going to follow anything, right? So that's why when people go and get fishing bait, right, they can use live bait, plastic bait, hard bait, right? They can use all of these different type of fishing baits and fishing lures, and fish will follow it, right? Let's get verse 15 again.
Verse 15, they take up all of them with the angle. They cast them in their net and gather them in their drag. Therefore, they rejoice and are glad.
Right. So it says that the wicked person, knowing that these are fish without a ruler that are just swimming in the ocean, right? Swimming in the seas, swimming in the sea of the nations, right? Meaning what does that mean? That means our people, our nations are scattered throughout the nations, and we are like fish amongst the ocean, fish amongst the sea. Well, we have some fish over here, some fish over there. We go here and there as we please with no direction. We have no ruler. And these wicked people know that, and they know that we're in seek and we're looking for a ruler. So what do? they take their fishing poles, like the angle, they catch us in their net, and they gather them in their drag, meaning what? The drag of a fishing pole, meaning they tighten up the drag. The drag is how tight the line is, right? And when you are fishing, you'll catch them with your fishing rod, and if the fish is too big, you get your net when you reel it in and you scoop it up with the net, right? And so that's what they're doing to us, right? What do I mean by doing to us? This is what I mean. These social media influencers, these mega church pastors, some of these congregational leaders and bishops, elders, and deacons, and captains and generals, a lot of these people, what they're doing is they're seeing that the fish are there for the taking, and they're trying their best to get the most fish. That's why it's all about the numbers. How many people do you have in your body? How many people do you have in your church? How many followers do you like? How many likes do you have? How many subscribers do you have? Follow me on Twitch. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on YouTube. Come do the work and follow us, brother. We're the home of the truth. Come visit our church. Come get baptized at our church. I love my pastor. My pastor's so entertaining. It's like a concert at church. Come. We have so many people. Look how many of us showed up at the Hawks Arena, right? The fish are for the taking, and the fish are going everywhere that they think is the way. And these people that are leading, a lot of times, they're not leading with a genuine heart, right? They're doing it, right? Because it says, therefore they rejoice and are glad, because they love being pumped up by numbers and by the docile people of the land. Right? Go ahead, Obadiah.
Con, a lot of people got that spirit nowadays of, that spirit that hopped on David when he numbered the people, when he wanted to number the soldiers to see how many people he had in his army. That's kind of how a lot of our people, a lot of our brothers is in today's time. They want to have a certain amount of numbers of people in their congregation, because that makes them feel complete. That makes them feel like they're a good leader because they have a certain amount of people in their congregation.
Right.
But the question would be, would you still do what you're doing if all those people left you? Would you still try to be that stand-up leader?
Right, man, because they're doing it for validation. They need something to validate them in their mind that they're important and chosen by God. And that's the only way that they'll keep doing the commandments. A lot of times they'll fall to the wayside if they lose all of that. So that's a mighty point that the brother said, right? Could you read this one more time, Brother Denal?
Come, verse 15. They take up all of them with the angle. They catch them in their net and gather them in their drag. Therefore, they rejoice and are glad.
Right? They catch the stupid fish, the ignorant fish, and they rejoice and are glad when they catch them. What does it mean to be that they rejoice and they're glad? They're making money. They're getting clout and fame off of these fish, right? That's what that means. That's why they're glad. So when I said the net of religion, right? Religion could be anything, man. Religion could be anything, right? And a lot of people are getting caught in these different nets, these different religions, right? And people are glad. Why? Because you come with money. You bring in the money, you sending them money, you giving them clout by adding to their following, right? And they don't care if they're lying to you. When you're a fisherman, right, you're lying to the fish, right? You're pretending to be something good for them so you can catch them. That's what you're doing. That's what the analogy is going into here. These wicked people, because keep in mind, these aren't good fishermen, right? We know we're supposed to be fishermen for the Lord, but these fishermen in this passage are talking about wicked people that are doing this to God's people. And he's saying, God, do you see what they're doing to your people? Right. Let's read verse 16, Denal.
Verse 16, therefore they sacrifice unto their net and burn incense unto their drag.
Right, so stop right there. What does that mean? A lot of these people, they end up praising what they're doing because it's giving them success. A lot of times people will sell out, right? Because they got sponsors and donors that are paying them to be a certain way. A lot of times people will sell out to the devil and sell their soul, so to speak, right? And they'll end up worshiping that because they got a lot of fame from that, right? A lot of times you'll hear people say, you know, this crystal has given me power. This crystal has helped me manifest things in reality. And then they'll preach that crystal and they'll worship that crystal, right? A lot of times these influencers on social media will lie to you, right? They'll say that they're using something, a weight loss drug or a facial cleanser that gets rid of acne in 2 days. They'll say they're using it, they're not using it, but they know that you're gonna believe them and send them your money. So they'll praise these tactics, right? And they'll keep doing it. So that's why we played the video of somebody selling drugs. You know, in the Biggie documentary, right? There was a scene where Biggie was going across the street to give a pregnant woman drugs. And when he came back, one of his homeboys was like, man, what you doing? She was pregnant, B. He said, I didn't get in this game to be no physician. He got in this game to get rich, right? And so they don't care what it's going to do to the fish, right? They just praise the fact that whatever they're doing is working. So they praise the fact that they have an academy where they're selling the word and they sacrifice to that academy. They praise the fact and that they made a pastor's book, and the pastor's book got relationship advice, and I'm gonna put it on Amazon and get rich. And even if I am committing adultery on my wife, right? They burn incense to their drag, right? They praise the fact of all this stuff they do to get your money, to get your following, for you to believe them, right? And it's all to your detriment, but they keep doing it because why? It says, and their meat plenteous, because it's making them plenty of money. It's giving them plenty of fame. It's giving them plenty of notoriety. It's taking them places they couldn't imagine, right? So even if they know it's a lie, even they know if it's going to hurt you, they'll never stop doing it because of that clout. It's a drug. Let me see if there's more on this. Colin, let's go to verse 17.
Verse 17, shall they therefore empty their net and not spare continually to slay the nations?
Right. So he's saying, shouldn't these wicked people let the people go? Shouldn't they tell these people the truth? Shouldn't they forsake the things that they've used to deceive the people? Shouldn't they do that? Right. But yeah, that's it on that right there. Right. So that's the premise of this video, the net of religion. The net of religion is the fact that people and pastors and elders and bishops and deacons and everybody will lie to you and pretend to live a different life and portray a different life that you can live just for you to help them gain, right? Just for you to help them gain. Next, we got, go ahead, say what you're saying.
I was gonna be like, yeah, man, you know, that happen all the time. Like you see a person that you thought you see a person while you watching them through a screen, through your TV or something, and you're thinking like, dang, this a mighty man right here, man. This a mighty woman right here. Then all of a sudden you start hearing, you know, all different type of stuff that they was getting into, and you're like, huh? Ain't no way that was so and so. You know, that was just that can't be true. That can't be true. You hear that a lot of times, man, because people be put on the front. In front of a TV or in front of a camera, they try to come all soft-spoken and all gentle and try to talk kind of, you know, smooth words. And then when that camera go off, they're a wild man. They're a wild man. They start doing all type of stuff, man. So
when these wicked people get found out, a lot of times they're ashamed and they're mad. They're enraged. Why? Because they know that the gig is up. They know that they've been found out. They know that the money that you've been sending, they know that you know what they're doing with the money, right? You might be buying something you shouldn't be buying with that money, right? You may be spending it on something you shouldn't be spending that on with that money that you're sending these people. That's why you got to have discernment, and you have to always know, hey, you know, is this person worth it? Is this person really living? Is this person a hypocrite? Is this person a deceiver, right? Can I trust this person, right? Because a lot of times we end up being like the people that we're deceived by, right?
Hey, have y'all seen that? It happened a very long time ago, but it's a video of that pastor that got set up by these people that do this TV show to have sex with a prostitute. And then right when they brought a fake girl in, so then when he was in the hotel room with the girl, she said, "Let me go to the bathroom real quick." And then all these people start busting in the room with cameras and everything. He start hurry up, pull his pants up. Then he start crying, talking about please, no, don't do this. Look, I'm sorry. I'm a pastor of a church. I can't have this, you know what I'm saying? This type of, I guess you could say, rapport about myself. But I'm saying that to say that, that's goes into what the brother Denal did, the lesson the brother Denal did, this past Tuesday, talking about, all bark, no bite. A lot of people, talk about the way they should live and tell you which way they should live, but inwardly, man, they're ravening wolves, modern day Pharisees. So that's just something like you can go into like that.
Man, so like, let me see if I can see this.
Food is killing us. Killed Lauren. Lauren killed herself.
Let me play a little bit of this.
They don't want to be pastors. They just want to be famous.
They don't want to be pastors. They just want to be famous, right? So that goes along with this lesson, right? They don't want to be pastors. They just want to be famous. And that goes in a lot of aspects in life. They don't want to be motivational speakers. They just want to be famous. They don't want to be life coaches. They just want to be famous. They don't want to be influencers. They just want to be famous. A lot of these people, man, they just want fame and notoriety. They don't mean the people no good, right? A lot of times they'll put on this front like the brother Obadiah said, but guess what? Behind closed doors, they talking trash about their following. They talking trash about the people that believe them. They're telling how stupid these people are, right? And a lot of times these pastors, these people, right, are the ones telling you to live modest, but they got on $500 shoes, $700 jackets, right? That's where your money going to. You have something to say, Obadiah?
Yeah, I was going. What I was gonna say, man. It'll come back to me.
God. Fair use.
This bothers me. I know it bothers the Lord. Question is, does it bother you? This should bother you. These are pastors who are going to the car to show up. They're showing themselves coming to church. Now, let me ask you a question. Let me talk to you.
Bro, like a basketball player.
Right. They want to be celebrities. And they can only be that with the following. Without the people, these men and women are nothing. Right? If the people stop following these people, if they let the fish go, if they tell the fish the truth and the fish go, they know that they can't keep up the facade. That's why they've sold out. You got people calling it the Christian Illuminati now. You got, even in the nation, you got people that's coming out saying that they've been lying for years about what they truly believe. It's all because of a following. It's all because of clout. It's all because celebrityism, right? It's the net of religion. Feed the people what they want to hear, and they'll give us everything that we want. They'll give us the money. They'll give us the fame. They'll give us everything. But we just got to give them what they want. It's a fair trade. And they can't blame us when God asked them on Judgment Day, because they're the ones that believe that they should have did their research, right? The net of religion. You got something to say?
Yeah, I was gonna say, man. Yeah, I follow this. It's this dude that go. I ain't gonna say where he go at, but went on campus a few times and started trying to talk to the brother. I think he like a so-called youth pastor, but he never stopped. But we follow him on Instagram, and it was him and another dude in the church. I guess some people recorded them catching the Holy Ghost, and they stepping and stumping, running around the church. And he had posted on his story it was a while back. He posted like, "Yeah, one thing about me and bro, we're gonna get down for the Lord." And my whole thing is, bro, why'd you post that? Like it's all for views and for people to be like, "What? Hey, you you were praising the Lord. Good job, so and so. It's all for a pat on the back.
Right.
You know, it ain't for sincerity.
Yeah, and in a nutshell, it's just vanity, right?
Yeah.
That's what that is. It's all for self, and it amounts to nothing. It's vanity. It's vain, right? A lot of these teachers and pastors and stuff will teach lies, and you go to them and be like, "Hey, man, I think the Bible says this, or I think that's a lie. I think it's really this." And they'll tell you, "Yeah, I know, man, but a lot of people, they're just not ready for that." And if we tell a lot of people that, they'll end up leaving, and a lot of people are like that. So they'll rather tell a lie and keep the people believing a lie instead of setting the fish go free. What help you go free? The truth.
Now, these are nice cars. Either they're getting out of their own nice cars, or in this case, you see now they got the umbrella over her. They get the star treatment.
Yeah, actor, ain't she?
Notice when they come in, these are people who are being led in by other people, like as though
they got people filming them as they're getting ready to go on the pulpit.
Entourage. It's
gotta take a whole photo shoot before you even go out to church. That's not normal. That's not normal.
Showing off the life of the pastor. Now, these are their own Instagram accounts. But notice, though, they are being driven in.
What the hell he got? My bad. What he got on? What kind of pants them was?
It bothers me. It bothers me for the simple fact that, one, it's just kind of tone deaf, because obviously they've got members that go to their church who don't live like they live. And then you put this on your Instagram account. If you're going to have an Instagram account, you know what you should put on there? Put on there some preaching.
Put on there some preaching.
Man, it's so crazy because you getting driven to the front of the church. Like, where are they picking you up and taking? Like, are they coming to your house? Are you just coming from the vestibule? like where are they picking you up? And it's weird to me, bro.
The chauffeur's almost here. Come on, we gotta get to church.
Being chauffeured in and driven in, and showing just the glamorous life of the pastor. That's a bit unsettling. That's all about you showing off.
Your bro got on, man. That's madness.
Who gets
suit look like that?
You become a distraction a lot of times, and people understand that. People understand the reason why a lot of people do the Mike Todds and all this. A lot of people do this is because they know that the fish love celebrities. They know that the fish love famous people. They know that, so they become these things. So the fish will stay and give their money and stay invested. They know the fish don't really love God like that. So we're not going to talk too much and show God like that. We're not going to be preaching. And, we could, but they'd rather see me look fly. That's what's going to cause them to stay.
Highlighted here again. This is posted on their own Instagram account. Who is the one?
He's getting a haircut out. He's getting a haircut before the church service.
You're being shown that, hey, we are being chauffeured in. We're being driven. These are nice cars, and people are escorting us in. This is a problem. Whatever happened to he must increase, I must decrease? This is John the haircut. Let me show off why this has any benefit, what benefit it has.
Brother got the sponge brush. Brother getting recorded doing this. It's one thing to get a haircut right before you go on stage, or I'll say stage, but they're going on a pulpit. It's one thing to get a haircut, but why you got to record it?
I have no idea. None whatsoever. But let me show off my clothes. Let me show off
the white forces on.
Jamal Bryant.
Not just one pastor that does it. It's many pastors that want to be seen. It's not just one pastor who's tone deaf. It's a lot of them, a lot of these preachers who just should not be in the pulpit, who want to be seen.
Yeah, man. And so don't think that doesn't happen in the truth as well. You have people have elaborate crowns, and people have elaborate forearm sleeves and garments. Brothers will have the flashy zeets, right? Brothers will, be dripped out in their favorite sports team and have fringes at the bottom and say, check me out and blah, blah, blah. Nothing's wrong with looking fly, but when you know that you're putting something on for the praise of people and you got to make an emphasis about it, it's one thing that have something on fly and you're not showing it off for real. You just wearing it. But another thing to do it and make sure people see it, that's vanity. What you was about to say, Obadiah?
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, this for really the brothers that maybe, that feel like, they should, for the brothers that feel like they should be known and feel like they are known, bruh, a lot of times y'all are only known by this community, by the Israelite community. For the brothers that want to be famous, you are only known a lot of times by the community. You go outside the community, go in public, people really not gonna know you like that. So brothers be trying to get the clout from the Israelite community, man. That's when brothers feel like, okay, I can be famous. People listen to my music. They'll watch my videos in this community. But when you go outside of that, bro, that's why you got to be humble, man. Be humble always, bro, because there ain't no point in having a big head. People don't know you, man. Just do the works.
Right.
Become endowed with the power and ability to not just become a disciple, but to make disciples. Now you've got exponential growth for God.
God is not empowering you to do the things that he can do. There's this belief that you can either bring God down to your level, make him like you, or go up his level and be like him. Both are false. Both of them expensive stuff. Look at the clothes they're wearing. This is now one of the more egregious.
AI gotta be.
No, that's not AI. That's a photo shoot. But he's going into how much their clothing costs.
Likes to really wear expensive clothing.
That's Stephen Furtick and that's John Gray.
Stephen Furtick. Look, these shoes, $600 for these shoes. That's a lot. Gucci hats. Same thing here with this pastor. That's all. That is a lot of money, and people can find this out. Gucci jackets, and what's funny is you can see the Gucci, as you're wearing it. People would think it was hidden, but you can see this thing. Or how about these $2,000 and $1,500 pants? And
he got $2,000 khaki pants. Come on now.
That make you wonder how much money are they truly getting to be able to pay for pants like that?
Yeah.
But again, they see this as a reason, as an opportunity to make money to enrich themselves.
They see this as an opportunity to make money and worship themselves. That's a good ending point right there for that video, right? And that's what they do. They're looking at you as an opportunity, as an op, not in the opposition, but an opportunity, right? Let's move along. Matthew 23 and 15.
Matthew chapter 23 and verse 15. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you compare sea and land to make one proselyte, and when he is made, you make him twofold more the child of hell than yourselves.
Right. So a proselyte is a convert, right? So he's saying, woe to you, scribes and Pharisees. You guys are hypocrites. You do things and you say things. Well, you say things that you do not do, right? And you go around the whole earth, you compass the sea and the land, and make converts, right? You convert people to be like you, right? And when they're made like you, you make them even worse than you, right?
Dang.
They're 2 times worse than you, right? A child of hell, right? And so what is this saying? A lot of times when you follow these people that are wicked and deceptive, you become a wicked and deceptive person, and you want to strive after that wicked and deceptiveness. That's why a lot of people want to be a part of the in crowd, like the brother Obadiah was saying. They just want to be mentioned. That's why a lot of times you go on, when people go on YouTube lives, people are always in the comments, hoping that their comments get shouted out, hoping that they see my comment, hoping that they notice me, hoping that one day they'll see my video. Wow. Hey, remember when I talked to you this time? Remember when? It's because they want to be just like them. And when they get to be just like them, when they select 1 or 2, guess what happens? They become a 2 times worse person because they were striving for vanity. Go ahead, brother Denal.
Man, a lot of times they become worse because the actual person that they're receiving this energy from, 9 times out of 10, they know right from wrong and they choose wrong anyway, right? 9 times out of 10, they know what they're doing is messed up. but they create these minions that don't even realize what they're doing is messed up, right? And they're so oblivious and so deceived that they don't even know that what they're doing is evil. A lot of times, the person that is indoctrinating them, they know what they're doing is evil, but it makes it worse that when the minions that you create, they don't even know it's evil, and they stand 10 toes down for whatever they're doing, and just makes them look foolish, man.
That's almost why there were 2 times worse than you. You're 1 time worse because you know that you know what's right. You're just not doing it. They're 2 times worse because they're not doing it and they don't know that it's wrong. They don't know that it's not right.
Right.
All right. So, Mighty, you have something to say?
Kyle, you're gonna get this quick example that I seen. This is a while back, man. It was this sister. She was in the truth, and she came across this brother. Right, he made music in the truth, and she was like, oh, thank you. I ain't gonna say his name. She's like, oh, thank you so and so stopped to take a picture with me, my favorite Israelite celebrity. So it's like, people, people look at some of these people that's known in this walk as celebrities in our community, though. Like these are famous people that I got to take a picture with him. He stopped and took a picture with me. I'm finna show this to my whole family. I'm finna send it to my uncle, and so took a picture with me, man. Yeah, that's how a lot of my people look at it.
People make it their profile picture, their avatar. They like, man, it's a hard picture right here. This picture mighty.
They're gonna blow it up, blow the picture up.
Yeah. And so, I've witnessed it firsthand at some unity camps, man. I witnessed firsthand brothers, just going up to, certain leaders and teachers that they've seen asking for pictures, man. And it's respected persons because you're not asking for pictures from everybody. You're just going up to the ones that you idolize. Ain't nothing wrong with praising mighty men and men of the Lord now. But when you get caught praising the wicked, it's a salty, sour taste in your mouth when you find out that they're wicked people, right? So have some discernment, right? When you're following somebody, when you're believing somebody, have some discernment, right? Because if not, you'll be 2 times the child of hell, right? Or you'll fall into this category, right? Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 10 and verse 2. I think it's our brother Isaiah.
Sirach or Sirach chapter 10 and verse 2, and it reads, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein.
Come on, man. So the person you appoint to be your judge or your king or your ruler, right? That's how the officers are going to be. And that's how the soldiers are going to be, right? That's how the citizens are going to be, right? The manner of man, the ruler of the city is, such are they that dwell therein. So you will know a person, you'll know somebody by who their ruler is. And you'll know a ruler's people by how he is. If the ruler is flashy and all about the money, best believe his people are going to be flashy people that are all about the money, right? If that ruler is aggressive and mean, best believe the people around them are going to be aggressive and mean. If the people are lying and deceitful, best believe their ruler is lying and deceitful, right? If the people are lazy and untrustworthy, best believe their ruler is lazy and untrustworthy. So they're reflections of each other, right? So that's why you have to have discernment, right? You have to have discernment in who you follow, right? And you have to, if you're going to be a leader or a teacher, you got to teach the truth, man. No matter if you think people are going to go away, right? You have to believe what you're teaching. If you know what you're teaching is against what you believe, and if you know that what you're teaching is false, right? You're praising your net. You're praising your angle. You're praising the tactics that you're doing over the truth. Don't get caught in the weeds of clout and fame and success. You think you know what success is. And so when you obtain what you think you know what success is, you don't want to depart from it, right? You grew in love with the game, right? You grew in love with the game. You can't fall in love with the game. You got to be ready to ditch the game You gotta be ready to, tell the referee, yeah, I touched that ball, right? You gotta have your integrity about you. And it's hard to do for some people when they get clout and when they get fame, right? When they get high up and they know a lot of people are looking at them, it's hard for them to do that. That's why not everybody's called to do it, but you got to have your integrity about you. Go ahead, say what you was gonna say, Obadiah.
And it be some people that they may see something in the Bible. Just say they've been teaching something for a long time, and they see something else in the Bible now, or somebody may have confounded them on something that they was teaching. A lot of brothers don't, they don't change it. They don't look into it and change it because they feel like, oh, I might lose followers. People might think I'm bugged out if I teach this because everybody else don't teach this. So that's when it comes in this a sense of what you doing this for. You doing this because you don't want to be looked at as a bug out from other people, or you don't want to lose followers. Or you doing this to try to get the truth, to try to really search out the truth, to try to have the truth to teach the people, man.
Nah, man, some people be like, hey, man, why are you teaching this when the Bible say this? Well, that's just the way that's the way we teach it over here. Or you ask them, hey, the Bible says this, right? And they'll be like, no, brother, you're bugged out. You need to learn. Stop asking questions. Well, it's not really talking about pants when it said this, right? Brothers always want to go to the lexicon. Brothers always want to get the word in Hebrew. What the Bible say, right? And so, certain things, right, people teach because of the comfortability of their followers, right? And that's disingenuous to the fish. Right, Brother Denal, if you could read this, Jeremiah 23, starting at verse 1.
Jeremiah 23:1. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord.
Right, and a pastor don't just have to be somebody in a church with a cross, right? A pastor is just somebody that looks after a group of people, right? So woe be unto all the people in the world. NBA Youngboy, you claim that that you're demonic, and it's real demonic out here. Why you keep doing the things you're doing? You a pastor. All those people at your concert, that's a flock. God said, destruction be unto you. Same thing with Queen B, Beyonce. You got a beehive and you dealing with witchcraft, right? Those people, those women in your congregation, because they're that beehive is a congregation, they're gonna, flirt with witchcraft because they know that you do. So the Most High God said, destruction be unto you. You pastors that you want to put on all these flashy clothes and lie to the people because you know the truth. You know the Israelites is telling the truth. You know that you can't defend anything against what the Israelites are saying, right? You can't come against it. The Israelites they make a point. Some of your lessons you done taught from the Israelites, but you will tell your people and your congregation, don't listen to them. They're crazy. It's a cult. And it's not, right? You pastors, woe unto you. The Most High God said destruction to you. And for you Israelites that know who you are and walking in obedience, that are destroying and scattering the sheep because you're offending the little ones, because you're lying to the little ones, you're stealing money and extorting the little ones, right? Because they want to believe the truth and they want to seek the truth and they think that you're a mighty person. The Most High God said, woe be unto you, destruction be unto you. Right? Stop thinking that you're David and Moses and nobody can come against the Lord's anointing because you're the Lord's anointed. Have you ever stopped to think that you're one of the pastors that God said, woe be unto? You got to question this thing, right? Verse 2.
Therefore, thus saith the Lord God of Israel against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away.
Right. So the Most High God said, hey, look, you feed my people, meaning, right? You feed my people BS. You're giving my people food that's not meat for them. You're giving my people unhealthy items, unhealthy food, right? That's why, a lot of these mainstream companies that sell food, they what I'm saying, that's the net of religion too. They religiously keep you coming back to their drive-through, to their cash register, knowing that they're lying to the people, knowing that what they're selling is hurting the people. Right. But they don't care. They're praising it because they're making money off of it. So they praise the item that they're selling. They praise their chicken sandwich. They praise their deodorant. They praise this product, that product, right? It's different. It's no different, right? Keep going.
Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them.
Right?
Behold,
And what does that mean by scattering them? Because once the fish actually understand what's happening, right? They make their way out of the net. You know, they just go crazy. They swim as fast as they can away, right? They might end up under a rock. They might end up on some gravel. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about spiritually. They'll end up anywhere. You scatter them and you don't even visit them. You don't come back and tell them the truth. You don't come back and tell them you're sorry. You don't come back and be humble. Keep going.
behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith the Lord.
So a lot of this stuff is going to come back to hurt you. Like the brother Denal was saying earlier, a lot of times these leaders, right? They don't know that they're following, they're making just like them. So a lot of times these leaders get slighted and done bad by their followers, not knowing they're the ones they taught their followers how to do that. They taught their followers how to act like that. And now it's coming to bite them in their butt. The Lord said, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings. And it's going to be irony because he's going to do what you did to the people to you. Right? All right, Con, let's go to, right, we almost done. 2 Timothy 4:3. You can read this.
2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 3. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers, having itching ears.
Right? So that's that drug, man. They know drugs are bad. And that's why the brother in the video, the first video we played, where he said, it's not my fault. Don't blame me. She's the one that took it. I didn't kill her. She killed herself. Why? Because she had her own lusts. Right? So a lot of times, you know, we getting on these leaders and these pastors and these anglers, right? We getting on them about how wicked and deceitful they are, but you're wicked and deceitful too. You know, it's a whole mirror. It's a mirror. We always talk about a wicked woman is given in portion to a wicked man. And, you know, we understand the opposite too. If you're a righteous woman, you give into a righteous man. It's the same thing with congregations and leaders and followers, and you're reflections of each other. Right? Just like they're deceitful and they're wicked, you're wicked and deceitful because you were green enough to fall for what they said, for what they did. You were green enough to follow your own lusts. Like we talk about a lot of these women that get swindled and they feel like I was lied to, and, you know, he lied to me and he's not what he seems like. And I thought he was like this. Well, if you would have opened up your spiritual eyes, you wouldn't have fell a lusting towards him to get swindled. Yeah, I know it sucks that he's a liar, but the Most High God's going to always give you discernment. He's going to always give you eyes to see. It's up to you to open your eyes. Right? Same thing with all these people that, you know, you get scammed from this person, scammed from that person. You get led astray from this leader, and you want to blame that leader for what they did and pull up all the receipts. You got to take accountability for believing it. Because there was some, I guarantee you in every situation, there are some people that was telling you don't believe it. There are some people saying don't join that organization. There were some people saying don't believe him. He's lying, and you didn't look into it. You got yourself to blame as well, not just that person. Right? Last precept, Romans 10:3. Romans 10:3.
Con, this is the book of Romans, chapter 10 and verse 3. For they, being ignorant of God's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of God.
Come for the soundboard. But you know, straight like that. Both sides. This applies to both sides of the coin. To those that are misleading the people They've established their own righteousness. And now you got to do this, X, Y, and Z. You got to believe in this, X, Y, and Z. You got to be a part of this, X, Y, and Z for you to be counted righteous. It had nothing to do with God. It has what to do with their opinion and how they see you, right? Same thing on the other side of the coin, right? You have believed the wrong righteousness, and you'll submit to that righteousness. You'll submit to the pants doctrine. You'll submit to all different type of doctrines, right? And you'll think that is what God wants because the person that taught you that, right? But at the end of the day, it's not really what God wants. It's not really submitting to God. You're submitting to man and what man is teaching you, right? You're submitting. That's why a lot of people are paying $400, $500, up to $1,000 to go to a pastor's conference, right? Where they get nothing out of it. And they feel like they're righteous for doing that. They feel like they're righteous for going to Sunday church every Sunday, right? They feel like they're right. They've submitted themselves to the righteousness of the people that have deceived them into believing that's righteousness, but they themselves have not read in the book and submitted to the righteousness that God wants. They keep Christmas and think they're righteous for keeping Christmas, but they have not kept Passover, which God really deems righteous, right? But because their pastor said, you know what, you're such a great person because you pay me these tithes. You're such a great person because you donate to the camp, right? That don't make you righteous because you donate to the camp. Yeah. That might be a good deed, what you're doing. You might be helping out, but God's righteousness and submitting to God may look a little different, right? Are you doing those things as well as the things that God requires as well, right? So hope that was edifying, man. The net of religion. Do any of the brothers have anything they want to say before we close it out?
No, man, mighty class, man. Very much needed in the nation.
I was gonna say, yeah, man. If you, I wanted to refer back to the point you made earlier, bruh. If you know that you touched that ball before it went out, don't say nothing, bruh. Just act like it didn't happen. Let the ref make the call. Now I'm just messing with you, but mighty lesson though.
Come on, man. You know, it's all about letting go of your pride and your ego, man. And when you come across the truth, share the truth. Don't keep pushing a lie, right? Don't fall into the net of religion on either side of the coin, right? Don't be that stupid fish that fell for the fake bait, and don't be the fake fisherman, right? So with that, we say this. Hey, our big brother Christ said, if you're not gathering the people together, his people, you're scattering his people, right? By default, it's either one or the other. So gather together, O nation not desire. We're the hopeful elect. Once again, we say happy Sabbath, peaceful Sabbath, Shabbat Shalom, and we say happy Hanukkah, so-called Hanukkah, feast of dedication, right? And we say shalom.